rural health centers, widespread availability of free health screenings in the community, and the integral involvement of mid-level practitioners in the delivery of care. And whereas, under his guidance, now as FCHN's Vice President for Medical Staff Affairs and Education, and as the initial instigator and advocate for FCHN's involvement as a rural training site with the Maine Medical Center Tufts Medical School partnership, that vision goes on. Now, therefore, I, Rebecca Ryder, serving as President of Franklin Community Health Network and Franklin Memorial Hospital, do hereby proclaim this 8th day of October, this residence as the Dixon House. Take a look. Over here, Dave. Let them do the work. Let them do the work. And acknowledge the impact of Dr. David Dixon on the lives of those living in greater Franklin County and beyond. We have our sign, and as we close the program in a few minutes, we will ask you to look at the big official sign that was just unveiled at the same time. You thought this was it? I thought, no. And one more thing, let me put the mic down. Now you can't have this, but we'll get you one, okay? But this will hang on the wall inside the residence. Pretty much what I read from the proclamation, but you'll have an opportunity. We'll hang it inside in just a few moments. Now, I think it's probably important to say that very few people knew about this. One of the best kept secrets, and we're thrilled about that, but your wife did know.
Thanks for sitting her up.
But you see,
no wonder you were worried.
But she and I had a conversation Saturday afternoon, and I think it's safe that I threatened her with a whole bunch of untoward events if she told. So now you asked if you had to say anything today, and what I said to you then was only if called upon. So you are being called upon to say a couple words.
Very simple. Very simple. Thank you. It is a total surprise. And the only thing I really need to say is this really is our future. Right there. That's where our recruits will come from. And our students hopefully will be coming from the same place. So this is really our future. I don't mind being part of that. So thank you all. That's all.
That exchange was, I've had a chance to work with David now for a few years, and I think I finally got one past him that he didn't know about. So, it feels very good, David. Here we go. Several times today you've heard things like teamwork and partnership. And and collaboration, and those are themes that, or those are words that should not be new anymore, because one of the ways we will manage this healthcare crisis is by working collaboratively, in teams, and in partnership. So we're living that today. Now we're actually going to model it, but in a slightly different way. I would like you to join me in welcoming Estella McLean up front here with me. Now this is exciting. Coach McLean is a former UMaine Farmington professor of physical education and the basketball and field hockey coach. Coach McLean and her late husband Bud McLean called this property home for 53 years. This is where they raised their two children, Alan and Karen. So welcome home, Coach. Now it was a thrill for me to give Coach a call because Coach is no stranger to taking a group of people and molding them into a strong team. And so as a result, I have great respect for you that goes way back. And so, like Becky, I have a couple of stories, and Coach is part of that. I was a student at UMF back in the mid to late 80s, and myself and my 4 roommates were practice field hockey players. And we had Coach believing that we loved the game of field hockey and we really wanted to be practice players. And I'm not sure she believed us or not, but it was clearly a good way to meet people. But for a couple of seasons, there we were with our field hockey sticks, no skirts, but working hard, and we actually grew to love the game. Fast forward a few years, and I have a chance to be a college coach, and I'm sitting in a gym in Waterville, Maine, scouting a kid, and who comes in and sits next to me is Coach McLean. And so there we are watching the game, and just basketball talk. That particular time, I wasn't very successful. She came on to play for Coach over here at the University of Maine, Farmington. But that's what's neat about the state of Maine. I think we make these connections, whether they're in basketball gyms or on hospital campuses or on people's private property. So, Coach, it's great to have you back here. And you're going to help us by building team and strengthening partnerships. So here's a brand new whistle for you. Can you let us know if it works? Very good. Coach, I have a dry wipe, okay, and a marker for you. Okay. Right there. Okay. And in case we need it later, I have the IAABO, which is the Association of Approved Basketball Officials Rulebook. So if there are any questionable calls later, we have a reference source. What we're going to do, and I appreciate your indulgence, is a partnership drill. So, Coach, I'd like to introduce you to your team. You have your work cut out for you. And Coach, we did work with the general manager, and we do have some Chuck Taylors sized for all of the participants today, and they are in our hospital colors. Okay, and they're on the bench, which is where your team should report to. So I'd like to introduce to you one of our big men, a forward, playing in the 5-hole, Dr. Peter Bates. Joining Dr. Bates as a forward, our number 4 man, Dr. David Dixon. And like most teams, we have reserves that we have to call on from time to time. So joining us in the 3-hole as the off guard, Dr. Nancy Cummings. We recruited her from Bates. Her competitiveness is showing. All right, in our shooting guard, is Rebecca Ryder. We brought her up from Texas.